I'm Aaron Goldstein. I'm here with Mark Hemstreet and our second guest, Tony Pinker from Voodoo Vinyl.
Hey, good afternoon. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned in to our Lancaster Chamber of Commerce Minding Your Business radio show. I'm here with Tony Pinker, owner of Voodoo Vinyl, located on the Boulevard. Tony, welcome. Thanks for coming today.
Nice to be here.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about, so you haven't always been in the record business.
No, I was in the film business most of my life.
Most of your life, yeah. So how'd you get into the record business? Into vinyl. I mean, not just record, into vinyls.
When my wife retired after running a big company for 35 years, she said, "Oh, I want to open an antique store." Brilliant. You don't make any money unless if you're in Beverly Hills or you're in Pasadena, you can make money. So we did okay, and we hung out in Quartz Hill. Then we opened a store in Leona Valley, and we opened this same store we're in now was an antique store 5 years ago.
Right.
And antiques just don't. They're really rough. So we closed this store and just stayed in Leona Valley. And after the big rains, the fire, and then the rains, and there were no lakes anymore.
Yeah.
You'd sit there and you go, every car that hits 90th Street would either go left or right. About every 20th car would go where they used to go see the lakes.
Right. Keep on driving down, which is where your store was, further down.
So we just figure, business got so slow, but we always kept selling records. We had a fair amount, nothing like we have now, and we had a pretty good choice for what we had. And we would always sell records. We had people that would come in, and that's what they came in for. Then our youngest son talked us into a record store. We said, well, we can't do it here. Not where we were at. It was just too rugged. So we went to look for a store on the boulevard, and the store we used to be in had just come up for rent. And we love our landlord, and he seems to love us. We don't know.
Yeah, well, you're paying the rent, so, that was a good point.
And so we went, and I have a guy that I'll buy records from every so often, but we bought a ton of records. And all 1,200 square feet of that building had records in boxes.
Wow.
And then our son says, oh, by the way, we have to clean them. Of course, we meant my wife and I, because he works a regular job, right? So we sat there and cleaned records until you couldn't move your arms and your fingers are raw. And so we finally, I got some help from my niece and her daughter, and my wife's sister and her husband came down, and they helped us one week and said, we've got to open the place. We spent a month in here just cleaning.
Cleaning records.
So we got it open, and it's done pretty well. It's held its own. And
it's a cool little destination spot. I mean, it's sitting on Lancaster Boulevard. You're right downtown Lancaster there. It's a neat little shop to go in. It's not big, but it's well laid out, and it's for records. I mean, there's some other little things in there, but I mean, it's records. It's old vinyl records.
Yeah, and we have new, the weird new music. We try carrying mainstream, it never sells. If we buy, I can buy Janis Joplin, and some of those, but if I put, and I don't knock, Michael Bublé sells a lot of records. But I bought one there and put it in there. I think it sat there for 3 months.
Wow.
Because they just come in for the really odd music. And some of it is really odd. But it does well, and it just, can you hear that on there?
Yeah, no, we won't tell.
I tried to, anyhow, it just, that's what they come in there for there, and then more kids are buying record players,
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of what happens is people will come in and they'll want to sell us their records. And these, people in their 50s and that, we tried to talk them out of it.
Of selling them?
Yeah, because they say, are you sure? Have you sat and I'm through with that. And all. Yet at the same time, we'll have people in their 50s and 60s coming in and buying records that they threw away.
Right.
Because they started listening again and they go, wait, this sounds pretty cool. Because CDs are gone.
Right.
They don't make them anymore. And except for little small companies.
Yeah.
But the sound is so much different and so much fuller.
Absolutely.
And we just don't want, we'd rather people, I had one guy was buying so many records, he tried to be in his 60s and spending a lot of money. And he said his wife didn't listen to him, but I guess he lives in the middle of nowhere and he has his whole sound system outside. He said he doesn't have neighbors for miles, so he
Nice.
just cranks that stuff up.
I love
and,
it.
All this rock and roll and stuff, and it's pretty interesting. And kids, young kids, are into jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is jazz is hard to get.
Right.
Because that's why all jazz musicians died poor, because their music didn't sell,
right.
except to people like me.
Right.
I still have my records from 1955 and all that, but
when you talk about, the sound of records has its own different, unique sound to it. I know I had, I had some old, I had a great sound system when I was, in my young 20s and whatever, and I had a nice turntable with a very expensive stylus, diamond stylus in it. And then during one move, my turntable broke, but I just never had the heart to throw it away. And then a few years ago, I picked up one of those new turntables that plug into your computer.
mm-hmm.
And so, hey, and now I can record it and I can play it in my car, or I can do it on my hi-fi on my stereo system at home, and luckily I always had the cartridge from the old one, so I took that expensive cartridge out of the diamond cartridge of the old and put it in the new one, and the sound is just unbelievable. It just still sounds, and it just has that really full round sound. And you can hear some pops and cracks on my vinyl. But that's okay. That's kind of the feel you want for it, and it's kind of.
I have a friend. He says he just lays there and he likes to even hear the wear.
Yeah.
He said it's just soothing, and like I just got this one jazz record. And it's absolutely one of the best jazz records ever done. I can't think of his name right now because I'm sitting here, but I cleaned it really well, and it's got that.
Yep.
But it sounds so good, so I just put on it, well played, but plays well.
Oh, absolutely. I love
and if it were a perfect record, it'd be almost $400.
Wow.
If it were perfect.
Wow. So something else you guys do house shows. What's that all about? Saturday nights coming down the boulevard, and what's going on?
Well, all our like Starbucks and the ice cream place love it. Because every time there's a break, there's a ton of kids going to get drinks. And it's just a lot of kids. They're all local bands mostly.
Uh-huh.
And doesn't matter what genre they are, they back each other up. Mm-hmm. And they're very supportive of each other. And so it just, but it has gotten very full, and we're going to try to cut it back some, because then it will start getting old. It'll start getting, well, I was there a month ago, I'll go in 3 months. And it'll lose whatever it's had. So yeah, it just got, every weekend, it was just,
Wow.
they're there till 10 at night. By the time they get cleaned up and clean the place up.
What time do they usually start?
They start getting ready about 6. And They just move stuff out of the way and set up and like that.
Nice. So, how many records do you think you have there? Ballpark.
Between 20 and 30,000. And I've
So all
gone-
across the Antelope Valley, people listening to radio are going 20 to 30,000 records. Wow. So I can go there and I can find just about anything that I want to listen to, don't I? Can't I?
Pretty much is, it's like, even, vocals, Frank Sinatra sells, always.
Mhm.
Young kids, old people, everybody buys Frank Sinatra when they can find him.
Mhm.
And, but like I say, jazz is really picking up. We're trying to get people, like if we don't have a Frank Sinatra, have you ever heard Johnny Mathis, who probably had one of the best voices ever? And so we've got a couple young couples and they start, hey, that's not bad. And people like Nat King Cole
Yeah.
and like that. So it's so many young people are getting into all different, they'll buy a lot of the really crazy music and they'll be Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin. And
Tossed
who's
in there.
that for? Who are you buying that? Oh no,
I love it.
that's mine too.
So Tony, Voodoo Vinyls, it's on the boulevard. What's the address down there?
765
765. We're on the corner of Lancaster Boulevard and
by Fern,
Fern.
and pretty much right across from the Performing Arts Center.
Yep, right across. We're on the north side of the street there, and great place to go. So Tony, thanks for stopping in. If you need some vinyl, if you want to just go to a cool place to check out some vinyl, go to Voodoo Vinyl. It's on the boulevard, right there on Lancaster Boulevard and Fern. So thank you, Tony, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right.